Welcome to Moose Plays, everyone. I'm the Liquor Moose, and today we will be going over the Season 3 PDL Playoff 3 match. We are up against Mike, who is coach of Phil's Tits. Weird name, I know. That's beside the point. He has a friend named Phil, and for whatever reason, Mike is obsessed with his tits. But besides that, this is the team builder for this video. Basically, we're both 2-0 in playoffs right now. The winner of this goes to the championship game. The loser, while not eliminated, will have to wait for the winner of the rest of the losers bracket, play them in like a do or die game, and then that person will have to play the winner of this game. Basically to either until one person loses like twice overall. So basically, the winner of this game will move to the championship, and in order for them to lose the championship, they have to lose twice in a row to whoever they play in the championship game. I'll get more to that whenever, if I even make it there, I don't know yet. But yeah, so Mike has a very threatening team. He finished second overall in the regular season, and it's not really a surprise to see why, because let's take a look at his team. He drafted BrawlBRSTMs3 Zygarde 50%, Mega Mawile, Primarina, Chandelure, Amoonguss, Honchcrow, Feraligatr, Emboar, Shroomish, Dhelmise, and Ambipom. His Z alternates are BrawlBRSTMs3 and Zygarde 50, and his Z captain is the Emboar. First of all, a couple things. Mega Mawile, absolute monster. BrawlBRSTMs3, absolute monster. Zygarde 50, absolute monster. Mike brought them to every single game this season, barring he left Zygarde on the bench against me when we faced him. We faced him back in week 2, by the way. And he left Landorus on the bench against Sean, I believe, so only once. So he benched Zygarde and Landorus once each, and brought Mawile to every single game. And other than that, those last 3 slots are pretty interchangeable, I guess, depending on the matchup for him. So yeah, obviously big offensive core, physical offensive core, BrawlBRSTMs, Zygarde, Mega Mawile. Those 3 are absolute monsters. I'm going to need to find proper ways to deal with them. I think I do have a team set up that can deal with them. Other than that, he actually has a double Fire, Water, Grass core. He has 2 water types in Primarina and Feraligatr, 2 fire types in Chandelure and Emboar, and then the 2 major grass types with Amoonguss and Dhelmise. He did pick up Shroomish. Shroomish is his favorite Pokemon, but he picked it up for more of the memes. I don't remember who he dropped, but he's never brought Shroomish. Actually, I can't say that. He brought it to his first playoff game, but it didn't even hit the field because he ended up sweeping with Zygarde, because Zygarde is a beast. The one thing about what Mike usually does, though, is he really likes putting sub on both Mawile and the Zygarde, so I need to be able to take advantage of that. Obviously, like, those 3 mons rip through my teams and unchecked. Besides those 3, I would say, if left unchecked, the Primarina is probably the biggest threat to my team. That thing with choice specs hits just way too hard, so I need to be able to properly deal with all of those threats, and I think I have a team that can hopefully deal with the rest of it. So let's go over my team really quickly. First off, we have Mudsdale's playoff debut, Seabiscuit here. We're running just strictly Max Fizdef with Earthquake, Roar, Toxic Protect. This set basically, this was basically close to the same set that I brought last time against him, which did a good job of walling BrawlBRSTMs3, which will be its job this time around as well. And a pinch, it can also help wall the Zygarde. Of note here, obviously, all I can do to hit the Landorus is Toxic. But past that, he does like to run Double Dance Landorus with usually a Z move. He changes up the Z move depending on the match. It's mostly usually Z Fly or Z Rock. So the Roar is there. Last time I did have Heavy Slam to actually damage the BrawlBRSTMs. I don't think I'm going to need that this time around if I'm going to be running Roar to try to phase out his setup, which is kind of like the same idea with the Mudsdale if I have to use it to check the Zygarde. But yeah, this is pretty straightforward. I mean, we saw last match, or I guess if you didn't see, I was at +1 defense with Mudsdale, and he was at +2 with his like +2 attack with his Landorus Therian, and he used Z Fly on me, and it only did 80%. Didn't even get the kill, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good viability for Mudsdale in this matchup too. I think this will be fine. I really wish this was Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, but unfortunately we started the league in Sun and Moon, so we're gonna finish it that way. Otherwise, this would definitely have Stealth Rocks, but again, pretty straightforward stuff. I think these will definitely be the moves, the best moves for this match. The Protect is just there, A, for leftovers recovery, because that's really important for Mudsdale, since it doesn't have any recovery outside of that, and B, for scouting moves. I think it's really important for Mudsdale to run Protect in this matchup. Past Mudsdale, we have Lava Frog, the physically defensive Heatran. This is here because Mega Mawile is obviously a pain in the ass, and probably should be banned, but right now we don't have it that way, so luckily I do have a good natural check to it. This was my check last time to the Mawile. A very similar set. Again, I'm running Roar instead of, I think I had Will-O-Wisp on it last time to try to cripple physical attackers, but I mean, like, Roar is basically doing the same, is essentially doing the same thing as Will-O-Wisp would in the case of setup mons. It's just phasing them out and resetting their stats, whereas Will-O-Wisp would just cut their attack. Again, Stealth Rocks are really important in this match, as I will explain later on in the team when I go through it. But yeah, other than that, Lava Plume, Earth Power were the best 2 attacks to hit Mike's entire team. Last time he did run, he was aware that Heatran was a good check to his Mawile, so he did run the Brick Break on his Mawile. So I probably will have to scout for that, as Brick Break does almost nothing to Mudsdale. But yeah, other than that, this Heatran is definitely here, specifically for the Mawile, as I fully expect those top 3 threats of Landorus, Zygarde, and Mawile to definitely show up this game. So speaking of those 3, I covered Landorus with Mudsdale, I covered Mawile with Heatran, and now Whimsicott is here as the check to the Zygarde, because he normally runs specially defensive Zygarde that runs sub Dragon Dance, Coil, and 1,000 Arrows. Now, he runs max special defense and HP because, obviously, with those moves, the only relevant stat that he cannot boost himself is the special defense. Excuse me. So, that being said, more than likely what is going to happen, I anticipate, is that and by the way, he ran that set like every single. I checked all the replays of all of his games where he brought Zygarde. He brought that set every single game. He didn't really change it up. So I'm just expecting that set, because that's what he is like. That's what his reliable. That's what his reliable set is, which I don't blame him for it. I mean, I did kind of the same thing with Rotom in Season 1. But anyways, what is most likely going to happen with the Mawile, with the Zygarde, is that Zygarde will come in after I kill something, more than likely. I will be forced to switch out into this, as he will sub, and he thinks he'll be free to set up, but I can easily just Toxic him with Infiltrator through the substitute, as he will start taking residual damage, and he normally runs leftovers as well, by the way, as his item. And actually, because of that, I did check, and with this spread, I am still faster than Zygarde at +1, since he doesn't have any speed investment before the before the Dragon Dance. So even after that, I can still Cotton Guard and ensure that I can easily tank hits, like even unboosted. This I think 1,000 Arrows from Zygarde. That Zygarde can only do max of 20%, which is almost nothing. Especially considering I'll have leftovers. Once he sees that I'm toxic, Infiltrator, he might set up one more time. But after he sees the Cotton Guard, he's definitely not staying in. He can't keep up with my Cotton Guard boost with his Dragon Dance or Coil. There's just no way. So that will give me a free turn to basically either knock off or U-turn, depending on what I think he's going to go into. I really think that Whimsicott is going to net a lot of momentum in this game. But one thing to note is that last time he didn't even bring Zygarde against me. Again, That was back in week 2. A lot of things have changed for my team anyways, not really for his. But yeah, so if he doesn't bring Zygarde, this is potentially a little more expendable, especially since this is like only for the Zygarde. U-turn is cool too because it makes it so Delmise cannot trap me with Anchor Shot. I think this Disco Time is going to net me a lot of momentum this game. Next up, we have Gamakichi, the Seismitoad. So I was talking about his core before, like his offensive core of Landorus, Zygarde, and Mega Mawile. Like I said, his next biggest threat, if left unchecked, is by far on his team the Primarina. So with that in mind, I really needed a good check to this. He normally runs Specs Modest, so AV Seismitoad was definitely the best check to this. He normally runs Speed on his Primarina as well, so I didn't feel there was a need to run any speed investment into the minus nature on Seismitoad like I have in the past. Another cool thing about this is that if he doesn't run Energy Ball in his Chandelure, this is a hard stop to that as well. Even just my Heatran actually doesn't take too much from a Choice Scarf Chandelure, which is normally what he runs too. He normally runs his Scarf Mons are usually either Chandelure or Emboar, his fire types. But yeah, so obviously I needed a good switch into the Primarina, and because of that I need something to hit the Primarina, which the best move by far is Poison Jab, even though I was planning on going mostly special because Scald, like Seismitoad doesn't really get a good physical water stab, or like any, he doesn't even get Waterfall or Liquidation, even after the move tutors, even though I'm not allowed to use it, but that's beside the point. So I pretty much have to run Mix if I want a water stab, because obviously Scald is way too good to pass up against his team. Like just against anyone really, because Scald is like arguably the best move in the game. But anyways, Poison Jab specifically for the Primarina, but he does have a few grass types I can hit. The Scald is for the fire types plus Landorus, or just any physical attacker to try to get burned. Ice Punch. Mike is very weak to ice. That's just the way his team was built. His first 2 picks were Landorus, Therian, and Zygarde 50, so you could obviously see that his team was already going to be weak to ice from the start. And on top of that, he drafted Honchkrow and 3 grass types, so that means Ice Punch hits super effectively half of his team. As you're going to see, the next 2 also have very important ice coverage. And then Knockoff, because I did debate through Earth Power, but really I only need Earth Power to hit pretty much the same things that Scald was going to hit. Basically, like, I needed Knockoff either for the utility. I just like I just like the utility of Knockoff better than Earth Power, which Earth Power, the only thing I would need Earth Power for is the Mawile. And A, I don't really plan on keeping Seismitoad out against Mawile for that long, and B, I would rather just get the Scald Burn on the Mawile. I think that would just serve my team a lot better. So that's the Seismitoad here. Next up, we have Toothless, the Choice Scarf Kyurem. And like I said before, Stealth Rocks from Heatran are going to be really important in this match because my two late game cleaners in Kyurem and Lopunny both have a really good time against his team, but they need to ensure the 2-hit KO, so they need a lot of prior chip damage, and Rocks will obviously help with that. One cool thing, or I guess one good thing about this match is that Mike doesn't usually run his own Rocks. I'm confused as to why, but that's beside the point. Anyways, as far as this spread goes, we have enough speed to outspeed a Choice Scarf Chandelure. Past that, I don't think I need to go any faster. By the way, obviously, like Mudsdale, Heatran, Seismitoad, they don't need speed investment because they're my defensive mons. With Whimsicott, I outspeed all of his non-Scarf team because his highest speed is Ambipom at 115, so I'm at 116. I only need a little bit out of the speed investment. But anyways, so Kyurem outspeeds his entire usual roster, I guess. It's to outspeed Scarf Chandelure, which if he doesn't run any faster Scarfers, which, I mean, he could run Scarf Lando. In that case, I guess that's a bit of a problem. But then I can't run Modest, and Modest gives me a lot of needed power. As far as the moves go, just Ice Beam because again, Stab, and his team is really weak to Ice. Draco Meteor for the nuke against basically anything that could resist the Ice Beam. Earth Power for pretty much what's left, which would be the Mawile is the important thing, as I'll be able to outspeed it. The only thing he'll have to hit me is Sucker Punch. And Earth Power does deal a good chunk to both the Emboar and the Chandelure. And then Dragon Pulse as more of a late game spam move as opposed to me trying to spam Draco Meteor. Dragon Pulse does 2-hit KO for Alligator, which is important because with Scarf I will still outspeed it at +1. Yeah, pretty basic stuff again for the Kyurem. It's a good late game sweeper that's well positioned for the matchup, I believe, so that's why it's here. Next up, and last but not least, Lola Bunny again. Again, just another late game cleaner that's well positioned in the matchup. Last time I played against him, I did run Adamant because I can outspeed his non-Scarf team at Adamant. But then I looked into it, and if I run this investment in Jolly, I can actually outspeed Scarf Emboar, and then put a major dent into it with Return. Power Punch will more easily let me secure some Okos. I do need to be a +1 in order to Oko max HP Zygarde with Ice Punch. That's how thick that boy is. And past those two moves, obviously High Jump Kick, Return, pretty obvious stabs. The only thing that should outspeed me is the Scarf Chandelure, which then Kyurem can deal with. But again, I have a decent check in Seismitoad as long as it's not, as long as it doesn't click Energy Ball. That's a really safe switch in for there. And yeah, again, just another really general late game cleaner that I feel is very well positioned in this match against Mike. So this is my team. This is a very important game, obviously, to say the least. I am really looking forward to it. Last season, I was in this spot. Unfortunately, I lost to Sean, and Sean ended up winning playoffs altogether. I really want to make it to to my first championship in this league. So yeah, I'm really excited to get this battle started. So keep your eye on the channel tomorrow for the match. And thanks for. Oh, before I go, sorry, this is up a week later than I thought it would be. Our commissioner Matt said that this battle could wait a week. It was just for like bracket timing purposes. So at this point in playoffs, we are in top 4. It's just myself and Mike, and then who's left is Matt, who I played against, and Steven, who lost to Mike as well. So yeah, we're in top 4 now, and we're really close to the championship, and I really want to win this one just for my own personal gain. But yeah, keep your eye on the channel tomorrow to see the battle get uploaded, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.